Welcome again to our Healthy Nations Native News program. My name is George McCauley, and we're filming at MTN here in Minneapolis. Our program is showed once a month on Channel 33 at 6:30 on Sunday evenings. This is our August program, and we'll be covering a couple different issues today. One of them is we have a tape on diabetes that was done by the American Diabetes Association. We'll have the power calendar, and we have some other things that we might be able to get on. But first of all, I'd like to thank our guest today. I'm very honored to have Valerie Sheehan from the city of Minneapolis joining us today. And she'll tell us a little about what she does, and we'd like to say thank you for joining us, Valerie.
Thank you for asking me.
Maybe you can tell us a little about what your the kinds of your duties down there and some of the things that you do for the community. I know there's a lot of things you do, but I think probably is that now we can learn about some of them.
Okay. As the American Indian community advocate, probably one of my biggest duties is to be a liaison between the Indian community and city government, which is all the city departments. I do that on an individual basis and on a community-wide level. Pretty much if people call my office, they call about a lot of different things, tenant law. Sometimes it's tenant issues. They have issues with their landlord in their community. And I do a lot of information and referral, because there is a department that works specifically with landlord-tenant issues. That's the Minneapolis Housing Advocates. So I usually try to find the place that people call me if they need whatever kind of services they might need, and I can either refer them, or sometimes I can actually, do the advocacy work and help them myself. I also work with City Minneapolis Indian employees that are already working for the city, in case they have some issues that they might want to talk about that they don't feel comfortable talking to anybody else but another Indian person about, and so then they can come to my office. And everything is real confidential. I have a private office. A lot of times people can think that my position is like attached to the mayor or something, but it's really not. I have a private, separate office out of the mayor's office, out of the city council office. It's away from everything, and so people can feel free if they have something they want to talk about and not have other people know and hear. And I really try to guard people's confidentiality. Another thing I do is I do some recruitment for the city. So if you're looking for jobs, you might want to call me. And there's also a jobs hotline that people can call. But if you want to know specific things about jobs, I'm pretty, I can also help fill out employment applications.
Is there a lot of confusion between the city and the state, and what else is there? The county offices that people might call you and you might have to refer them to somebody else, or?
Yes, that happens frequently. And there's like 3 different government entities and bureaucracies that people have to try to find their way through, and so that's one thing that I can do is to kind of guide people through that and talk out what the issues are. A lot of times people, I think, feel intimidated by the bureaucracy that a government, entity has, and so they'll call me. I've had a lot of people call with issues that really belong in Hennepin County, with the for assistance or things like that, and so. But I can refer them because I know people inside these other offices and these other government entities too, that I can refer them to somebody specifically, or I might know somebody that's American Indian there that I can, refer them to another Indian person, and I think they appreciate that kind of service.
I know, as long as they know somebody they can talk to and another person that they can get in contact with. That's what my job is, to have the resource helpline is to connect people with and some of the places are pretty big, and there's a lot of people that, will just pass them on to somebody else. And it's good that you're down here and doing this for our Indian people. As far as employment, this summer we have 9 youth working at the Healthy Nations program, and I think you mentioned they're part of the city employment program.
Summer Youth Employment Program is part of used to be the Minneapolis Employment and Training Department, which is now merged with the Department of Health and Family Support. And that's the department that I work out of too. The advocates, there's a Department of Advocacy and Policy that's part of the Department of Health and Family Support. And so we're actually in the process of merging right now. At some point we'll have a new name for that department. That'll maybe be more, give you a better idea of what we really do. But Summer Youth Employment Project that where your youth are employed through is part of one of the programs of Minneapolis Employment and Training. And we're really pleased. I'm really pleased to be a part of this because I know that the people that are filming today are some of the summer youth, and you're doing a great job. And
Yeah.
I hope you're getting, a lot of good experience, and I hope you'll go on to be great TV producers. Right?
Yeah. And your office is located where at now?
I'm in 308 City Hall. I'm there until probably we're looking at fall. Then I'll be moving over to what's now, it used to be the Public Health Center. It's now the Public Service Center. So it's changed its name. We're going to have offices on the first floor right under the escalators, and there'll be directories, and I'll be in the same office with the other advocates. There's a senior advocate and 2 housing advocates, and myself, the Indian advocate, for right now. And then school-based clinic staff also have a space in our offices. The city of Minneapolis is, looking at maybe expanding the advocacy program, but at this point, budgetary constraints prevent them from doing that. But they're looking at it. We've just now, George, got a tracking system, a client tracking system, so that I can enter it on the computer. Again, confidential. Nobody can get into that system but me and my particular part of it. And I can, keep track of what I've done with a client, and if I still have to work on something, because a lot of times people have issues that I have to, talk to somebody else or refer them. I'm working with a client right now on some discrimination and employment issues. She lives in the city of Minneapolis. She's American Indian, but she works outside of the city. So I'm looking for some private attorneys for her and that kind of thing. So I'm pretty, I try to help in whatever way I can, or like I said, refer people on. Another thing we have is, and this is available for people, it's this May We Help You piece. We just reprinted this, and the type is real big so people can see it, and it's for advocacy services that you might find helpful. It's a quick guide to services that the city of Minneapolis, that are available in the city of Minneapolis, and we'll be reprinting this. But these are available in our office downtown and at some community agencies around the city. So if you want one, you can always give us a call, and we'll be able to send one out to the person that wants one.
Okay. I know you're involved in a lot of things in the community, and you do an article for the Circle, and you've published the monthly, what is it now?
Indian Month
Calendar. Yeah, that was really nice. That was really great, and I got a copy of that. And on a personal level, as if you haven't got enough to do already, you have a catering service, and then you're going to be opening a restaurant back in the Indian Center again.
That's correct, George. In my private life, I do try to keep busy. I'm a partner in Native American Catering Incorporated, and we'll be opening the restaurant on August 18th at the Minneapolis Indian Center, and the name of the restaurant is My Grandmother's Hands. And so our open house will be on the 18th in the morning, and we're going to start out with a blessing in a good way, so that we can hope we can have good food and hopefully good feelings, and enjoy having something at the Indian Center again that'll serve the community and provide hopefully healthy meals.
Yeah.
And get people eating healthy.
People have been asking when it's going to open again. I'm sure everybody's excited. I know I am. And once again, I'd like to thank you for joining us and giving your time to come
Well,
on here.
thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Welcome back again. We hope you enjoy the public service announcements there from the St. Croix Band of Ojibwe, and they're very well done. Once again, I'd like to thank Valerie Sheehan for joining us today again. Valerie's so cool. I really enjoy talking to her. Now we have something from the American Diabetes Association. It's a video done about and on Indian people.
My name is Lorna Blacksmith. I'm an Oglala Sioux from Pine Ridge, South Dakota, but I reside in Rapid City. The prayer songs are asking Tongashila to help us. I know they're really old songs because my grandfather used to sing them, and they're the same songs that they're singing today. It's just handed down.
We chose Ani Lohakata Chahe Wachinshia. In translation, that means that I wish you the wholeness of well-being.
One of the fundamental beliefs is that of helping the people. In order to help the people, then we need to help ourselves. And so we need to live as healthy as we can so that we in turn can share whatever gifts we have with the people to help them in various aspects of their lives.
In denial for a long time when I found out I had diabetes, and until it went out of control. And I didn't want to believe that I had this disease. Eventually, I went for help, and I asked how I could control it.
Indian people have the highest rates of diabetes of anyone in the world.
We, on a statistical basis, the Native American has, up to age 45, somewhere between the range of 5 to 6 times the national rate of diabetes, and over 45, then it gets 8 times the national rates.
We have 8, 10, 13-year-old children here who have been diagnosed with the type 2 diabetes.
I can see all the way around the outsides here.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't see straight ahead.
The numbers of patients with diabetes has increased from about 175 people that we had diagnosed in 1981 to now over 800. So number one, it's a growing and increasing epidemic. There's no doubt about that. Your diabetic condition is diabetic retinopathy. That's what it's called. Did you ever understand that?
The magic date of 1940, approximately 80 years after the reservation had been established. Up until 1940, there wasn't a single diabetic on the reservation. Today, we have somewhere between 800 to 1,000 plus diabetics.
80% of type 2 diabetes is associated with obesity. So for the most part, it's a disease that's related to overweight. And then you have to ask yourself what the factors are in overweight. And the factors are nutrition and exercise.
Prior to 1940, the foods that we had were all natural. The buffalo was our mainstay, and the buffalo, of course, has very limited fats in it, very lean meat. We had no commercial sugar. All of our sugar was obtained from natural juices, natural fruits. And our bodies, at least from the Lakota people, were very active. we're part of the generations today that have television accessibility, so it's much easier to sit down and watch television for the evening and let that sugar store in your system. It's much easier to stay in a sedentary lifestyle.
To begin to face a lifestyle disease, it really helps, I think, to have things going well in your life, to have a job, to be productive. A lot of Indian people don't have that.
Hi, Francis. Hi. I'm here to do a home visit and your blood sugar. Have you monitored your blood sugar today?
No, not today, but I did last night.
Can I take your blood sugar?
Mm-hmm. At first, I didn't care, but I got to thinking, well, nobody cares what's wrong with me, so I just started thinking about how I can control it. And then one time I went up to Sheehan and my sugar was clear up to 397. And I was on 4 pills then a day. So the day I left the hospital, I started walking. And then within 30 days, my blood sugar dropped clear down to 125. And that's what I've been doing to control it.
Well, I think we're really trying to empower the patient to grasp some of the care concepts to really help themselves. And as they help themselves towards a better lifestyle, they're also helping their families, their children, their grandchildren. So it's really important for them to take care of themselves, to be models for other family members.
When I went to my vision class, I had a vision, and that's when they told me that I was to help my people. How are you doing on your exercise?
We went for an early morning walk this morning, and your blood pressure's been quite normal, the 2 visits that you've been here.
I work as a community health representative. Some of the people that I'm taking care of now, and I do home visits, are, most of them are elderly, and they've been diabetics for so long. They have heart problems and lung problems, and I know that's all caused from diabetes, and they're overweight. A lot of them don't understand that yet.
Your blood sugar's kind of high, so you'll have to do more exercises. And be sure and take your insulin.
Yeah, I think what would happen is that this particular morning, I was up at 3 a.m. because we had to make a trip into Wyoming, so I didn't take my insulin.
Okay, always remember your health comes first, so just make sure you take your insulin.
Hi, Milton. Today I'm going to be looking for a sign for diabetes. It's called acanthosis. And it's just a little marking in the back of your neck. And what I'm looking for is a little dark area, or it might look like tire tracks on cars. That when a car goes over a muddy road, you can see the tracks of the tire. Well, it kind of identifies the group that are at higher risk for developing diabetes later.
The sooner we get to these children and doing preventative things, we can do things now with all of those children, even the ones that aren't showing it this year, so that they don't become overweight, or so they don't get that skin marking.
It's easy to write out a diet prescription. It's easy to write out an exercise prescription. The hard part is to change your behavior.
It's taken me over 50 years to realize this. I'm a product, too, of the impact of culture, because I, too, have diabetes. I, too, have had an angioplasty. I've lost 140 pounds over the course of 5 years. Because I was able to realize that as an individual, then I have certain responsibilities in terms of my self-identity.
John Blackwell, first the consultation room.
The amputation rate around here was about 15 to 16 per year, I think. And Winnebago and Omaha tribe, the tribe next door to us here, had the highest rate of amputation. And most of the amputations are caused by small ulcers that get infected and out-controlled infections. So since we've been here, we've been aggressively treating those infections, and then after that we also aggressively go after the cause of the infection. Another aspect of our program is accessibility. we make ourselves accessible for the patients anytime. Over the last 2 to 3 years, we have not had a single amputation in this reservation. Pathologies are still there, but patients are better educated.
We've had a number of really great successes, and I could show you several case histories of people who have lost that 20, 40, 60 pounds, and their diabetes is just gone, really.
I realized that it could be done. You could take care of yourself and have a healthy lifestyle. It's up to the individual.
We can give you a nutrition prescription or an exercise prescription in an hour. Following it is the hard part. Changing your lifestyle, changing your diet and your exercise patterns are the difficult parts of the disease.
If you want to continue to survive, you're going to try to protect your health, but most importantly, too, with your family. You need to protect your family, your children, your wife, your parents, and whatever. That becomes a sense of responsibility.
Indian people used to have healthy lifestyles. I don't see any reason why they couldn't have healthy lifestyles again in the future.
A long time ago, our people didn't have diabetes because they didn't have the lifestyle we have now. I pray every day that the people will realize that we can overcome these diseases if we try hard and watch our diets, watch what we eat. I hope that someday we'll prevent this with the younger generation.
And if you would like more information about what is going on in the cities here, Terry Musso works with the American Diabetes Association, and her number is, she can be reached at 1-800-342-2383. Also, there are two support groups that are going on in Minneapolis. One is at the Indian Health Board, and it's a diabetes support group for Indian people. The one at Indian Health Board is held on the second Thursday of the month from 11 to 1 p.m. The other one is held on the second Tuesday of the month, and that's at the Division of Indian Work. That's called Share the Strength, and that is from 1:30 to 3 p.m. If you want more information or have any questions, you can call me here at Healthy Nations at 879-1761. Now we're going to have a little clip here from Cecil Whitehead. He's the chemical dependency person at the Indian Center, and he has a message or something he'd like to pass on to you, and we hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
This story happened after Rosebud Fair one year, and there was these two Pine Ridge people that got left behind. And after the fair was over, they were hitchhiking back, and by the time they got past Martin, and they had been hitchhiking and pretty much all morning, and then now it was into early afternoon, and they got past Martin, South Dakota. One of them really got hungry, and he was going to look for something to eat, and then just as he was looking, he saw this turtle. So he said, he told his cousin, he said, well, let's just go ahead and build a fire here and steam this turtle or boil it, and then we'll have some turtle meat. And he said, I'm really hungry. And he said, so his cousin said, well, he said, our uncle over there, he lives in Allen, and it's just a little ways from here, so why don't we just go ahead and take that turtle over there, and then we can cook him. the uncle was home, and so he told him, he said, well, my cousin here's got a turtle. He's really hungry, you know. So he said, well, yeah. He said, why don't you just put him in that microwave over there and put a bowl of water in there, and it'll be nice and steamed, and make some good turtle meat there. So the young man got a bowl of water and put it into the microwave and turned it on high way up there. So boy, you could then put that turtle in there and then shut the door and started it, and boy, you could hear that microwave going, that timer on it was going, boy, it was going full blast. And pretty soon it just steamed up. You couldn't see anything in there. And boy, it was going full blast. And after a couple of minutes, when just sitting there visiting, boy, you could hear a pounding from inside that microwave, and you could hear a muffled voice saying, "Dr. Ossie, Dr. Ossie."
Okay, all the little people are out there now, and we're going to be singing a good song, little ones. Remember, little ones, when you hear that 4 big beats, you spin around, okay? We're ready. Listen to the drum beat. When you're dancing, you must always listen to the drum beat. That is you out there. They're still serving food over there, and it'll be over, shut down at 10 after 3, so if you want something to eat, just make your way down to the big tent down there and help yourself to some food. We want you to go down there. They're inviting you. We're going to move over to you a good song for all these little people. A good beat, and also make them feel happy out there. Look at it, dancers, little ones. Dance hard. This is your song. This is 7, all these tiny pads are 7 down, and there's one over there that's even crawling. This little guy down there is crawling to the beat of the drum. Isn't this a beautiful sight? Oh, beautiful people, little people. Beautiful song for all those little ones. Composed singers, a beautiful song for all these beautiful little children. Little people, as we know them, these are little people. Take a good look at all these little people. Look at them as they dance. Some look like grandmas, and some look like little grandfathers. They're all beautiful. That's right. Hey,